Okay, here's the last tour. Let's go take a look at the beer garden and the electric horse garage, what most people call the machine room. So we call this area the beer garden just because this building has been a bar for its entire life, and most of the time they would have people sitting out here drinking, and so that's a garden, and they had beer. Here you can see we made some changes to the addition. Here we pulled off the vinyl siding and put on cedar shakes that were more in line with the time period of the building, and put on a standing seam roof that matches the standing seam metal roof on the rest of the building. So the machine room was built in, I think, 1906, according to the Sanford maps. It was built using the concrete machines that make basically cinder blocks. It's kind of a pattern where there are 3 or 4 patterns you could get from Sears that would make these blocks on site, and just sort of stack them up, and boom, you had yourself a garage. When we bought this place, this door had been blocked up with cinder blocks, and we restored it. So let's go inside. Well, it's basically a flat roof structure, and though I've talked a lot about what we have done to the rest of the building, and it seemed like a lot of work, this was absolutely the most work that we did. This building had been turned into so many different things over its lifetime, and if we look down here at the floor, they had even tried to turn it into a single family home at one point, and here's where you can see the pipes where the toilet and sink were. But we spent a year basically stripping this down and getting it back to its 1906 interior and exterior. So we'll just start over here with the sexiest piece of machinery that we have, and that is this Northfield jointer, 12 inches, that Jamil Abraham, Jamil Alabama as we call him, restored and put on a Sheelix head. I know this is just me showing off, but I don't do it very often. This is sort of the foundation of accuracy in our shop when we do machine work, and so we try to do it right. Love this machine. Its companion is this Powermatic 15-inch. Of course, all of these machines were paid for by me at full retail. We don't take any sponsorships or anything like that. Hence, we cover over many of the brand names with that sticker. This also has a Sheelix head designed by Thomas Berg down here in Kentucky, and produces a beautiful finish. My grandfather's 6-inch grinder, which I still use, my bicycle, which I don't use very often, which I should use more of. Another freaking tool chest. Megan has them sort of scattered everywhere. Sometimes I find them behind the toilet. Over here, we can see a box from Uline that is Catherine's, the Wax Princess, and those are, I think, jars for her next big thing of wax. And here we have a Conover lathe, which is from Ernie Conover. He made these, I think, mostly in the 80s, and this belongs to a friend of mine, Dr. Timmy Hendrickson, and it is on long-term loan, and that leg vise is not connected to the lathe. So this is it's a beautiful lathe. It's not very fancy at all, and that suits my head just fine. It's stable, it's simple, it's heavy, it's cast iron. What is not to love? Things are a little bit of a mess back here. This workbench back here is where Catherine makes her wax. It also serves as somewhat of an outfeed table for us. And we can see back here, I also have a drum sander. We almost never use the drum sander, but I got it at such a cheap price that occasionally we do use it. And I mean, for a couple $100, it's kind of hard to say no to a drum sander. Here we have a metalworking belt disc sander from Jet. If I'm gonna buy new machines these days, they're gonna be heavy duty. And so their metalworking stuff is so much better than their woodworking stuff. There's almost no sheet metal in the important guts of this. You can see the trunnions are cast and machined, and so this is just a really nice thing. We use this for metal work and for some woodwork. I mean, we do some tool making here on occasion, though this room is much less of a tool making room than it used to be. I also have a grizzly. I tried to combine jet and grizzly into one word. Drizzly. Oscillating spindle sander, which we use sometimes for chair making. This wall isn't very exciting. We do have some flammables on site, and safety is a big deal to me. So they're all kept in there. An old Powermatic drill press. Love this thing. It is so simple, yet so robust, and just gives me no trouble at all. And here we have a jig that's on there for drilling some weird compound angles. A chop saw. Shocking, surprise. And back there is another tool chest. You can't see it, but that is our scrap pile right now. And it is overloaded and needs to be culled back. And then, of course, the saw stop table saw. This is the PCS, the professional cabinet saw, not the ICS, the heavier duty one. I like this saw. I mean, it's kind of hard to complain when I have all 10 fingers. I've never really had an incident with a table saw, but I don't want to. And so I think it's kind of silly to not own a table saw that has flash detecting technology. I bought this for Megan. I don't really use it all that much, but the sliding table is fantastic for batch processing of large sheet goods, and that would be like a tool chest. It's nice. I mean, it's better than a lot of other sliding tables that I've used. All in all, I mean, it's a table saw. We don't use it that much, not as much as a bandsaw, and this one doesn't bite back, so I'm pretty happy with it. So here's a quick look at the garage from the outside. There used to be a gable roof on top of it that I removed, and as you can see, the idiot roofers put the red fake tile on the front instead of the top. I'll fix that someday. So thanks for coming on a quick tour of the Lost Art Press storefront, and I hope you guys can come visit us someday and see all this for yourselves.